Okay, guys, we're back today on Consulate. We're going to be looking over the top bomb site here in Council and Office, or Meeting Room, sorry. So first, you want to reinforce this section right here. You want to do so because an enemy can repel up on that window right here and get line of sight across a vast majority of the B section into your closet section over here. Then you're going to want to reinforce these three walls right here. You're going to want to impact grenade this spot over in this corner here. Then you're going to want to come have somebody get the two sides of bathroom. And we'll talk, the reason this is reinforced is so that they don't get line of sight into this corner here. The reason you blow this part out and maybe not the middle section off the reinforcement is because someone's going to come up to these windows here and you don't want them to be able to get line of sight into your A site through the wall without them wasting the ammo and giving up their position. So that's the spots that you're going to want to get reinforced right away. The A site itself, I've seen teams who reinforce all of this. It's 4 walls, 2, 3, and 4. Is that a 5th wall? I think it's, yeah, this is only 4 walls. In doing that, generally my team and I, we only reinforce this corner section right here. And the reason we only do this corner section is because we want to make sure that if the time comes and maybe they get the plant off in the A site, we want to be able to impact and shotgun holes and make kill holes from multiple angles in multiple positions, and then just gives, you know, a safe place that I've talked about in other matches. Having a safe place is always a good idea. We like to reinforce this wall right here because this gives line of sight from inside of cubicle and through this doorway, and to right about here-ish is where your line of sight ends when you pin yourself on this far wall here. So that's a fair amount of control. They'll be able to, if they plant the diffuser here on the window, they'll definitely be able to hold it from inside cubicles, so we just reinforce that. That's going to leave you with reinforcements, and that's totally fine. Sometimes you don't need to use all your reinforcements because any more will hurt you. Jaeger devices, put one underneath that window there. I'll put one underneath this window here. Bout cam right there. I've been experimenting and I put one right there. You have to go prone and you kind of throw it just off the plant, and it worked really well in my last game. I've also played one right on this back edge of the extinguisher here. And where's another spot that you can shoot this out? You can put it inside of there. I think it's the same. Yeah, these don't break the same way. But you can put one inside. If you were to say shoot this, and you can place one inside of here, and you can use it for audio cues. And then I generally don't place one inside the A site, but you could play behind the trees on this or whatever. Okay, so we looked at some Jaeger systems. Your basic barbed wire placement on the stairs, down this main corridor here, along the A stairs there. We're going to look at some operator placements. We're going to play one operator inside of the closet, give him a Jaeger system perhaps. Right then, the one guy in closet, we're going to play one guy in the bathroom, one guy in the A site itself, one guy, if not the last two, in cubicles to see if they're going to take a cubicle push. If they're not going to take a cubicle push, then they're going to be working for the B window push, in which case you're going to want to have this wall pre-ripped down, rip this down during the prep phase just so that it's already open, and it'll make the enemy waste either a claymore or an operator to make sure they don't get jumped out on. If they're not going to push there, you can run a pulse. I'd recommend running a pulse in this scenario, and you can have your pulse sit down in here, make sure that he has barbed wire, a door reinforced so he doesn't just get instantly rushed. But he can sit underneath, and from here he can pulse the windows that are right up here. And if they get in, he can just throw his nitro, set it off, take out the diffuser. Then the diffuser is down in sight, and pulse can also wall bang when they're in the A site too. Up through here is all breachable up until this section right here. You can see the spot right there. There's the windows. So that's going to be your basics of holding the site. You're going to want one guy in cubicles, if not two in cubicles, at the early start of the round to deny them access there. You're going to put one guy in the A site, have him play right behind the bomb, prone behind that desk. Gonna put one guy in bathroom, one guy in the site here, blow out this wall, reinforce closet and bathroom, and then wait for the enemy to come to you. Okay guys, now that we've done the top floor, we're going to rotate all the way down to the basement. First thing you gotta do is you want to reinforce the 3 walls of garage, get the hatch here, and get the hatch inside of the A site. Another hatch that's kind of important and a lot of people forget about is this hatch right here. It's not in Visa. This is the one that's just inside the main double door to the right. Most people forget about that. But it's one that gives a very early access. If they were to rush that, blow that out, drop in, they're effectively on your A site. And we do that a lot when a team's not expecting it. Then what you're going to do is you want to pick out your kill holes. Kill holes in this work pretty well. Let's see if I can get this to actually break. Yeah, there you go. If you shoot through this, you can see there is a table behind it. And the table breaks also. So that's actually through the table on this backside here. Right here. You can shotgun out holes here, make low holes here, low holes here. We generally impact into this room right here. And then we make kill holes into here. And you can see here's the room, here's the wall. There's the angles, the kind of the idea of the angles that you get. We'll barricade off this right here so that we have a little bit of warning when they come through this way. We will barbed wire the stairs. We'll have one just inside of the front door here. We'll have one up the stairs, and we'll have 2 more as they rotate down the stairs. We're going to make sure that they're using a lot of utility. If we do that, we'll also put a Jaeger system up like so that they can't just toss lob grenades from the door to get that. They actually have to come down and to either A, take out the Jaeger system or beat the barbed wire, in which case you'll have somebody over here. You'll be able to pick them off pretty easily. Okay, so we have your basic reinforcements, which you want there and there. If you're going to breach into here, it's not a terrible idea to reinforce this wall right here, and then these right here, just to give the dude who's in there a little bit of safety. Not that important. So there's 3 reinforcements there, 3 on the hatches, and you got maybe 1, 2 there, 3 right there. That's 9. And your final one can be this corner right here, the corner right next to it, just to give the guy who's going to play back here a little bit of safety from the wall bang and from red. Okay, so now we've talked about basic reinforcements. We'll look at positioning now. Pre-wall being blown out, you can play somebody up on the stairs right here, holding this angle to make sure that you don't get rushed from there. Once you get the call that this wall is getting blown out, you need to be able to rotate back behind white van. Having a shield right here or right here isn't a bad idea. I've seen a lot of teams do it. My team doesn't every time, but occasionally we'll try something like that. And what you can do is you can rotate up here depending on what side of the wall they're blowing out. And this will give you line of sight through the glass up there. You can hold right here. But mainly what you're going to be doing is you're going to be falling back behind white and either being all the way back here, rotating to hold this angle, or you're going to be back in this section here holding the breach. And depending on where they breached will kind of determine where you play. If they breach this far north wall here, then playing in this south corner right here is a good idea, because the angle that they're going to hit you, they're going to be really hugging that wall, and it's a peak that you're going to win. Due to the peeker's advantage, that you can find all kinds of information on that from Serenity 17, Inverted Joker. Both guys have both done videos on the peak and how that whole mechanic works, so I'm not going to go in and cover all of that. I'm not going to take their credit from them. So you're going to want to have one guy there. We like to play somebody back here in this box section. This guy's generally going to be on cams for majority of the time, so if you're playing an Echo, this is a good spot for an Echo to be, where you can drive his cam around and give information. He's very, very safe, except from up above where he could get fused. So that's something to keep in mind, is that the enemy is going to try to push you out of your positions from up above, and they can do that because this entire floor is breachable. And so what teams will do if you're trying to bandit trap, be aware that this window can be broken out, and you can shoot an ash charge right onto these flowers in this section right here. And the charge will go through, blow up the floor, and then they'll be able to see your bandit putting his charges down from there. If the enemy were to fuse this section, well, directly right there is where you have your echo sitting. But if you use this section here, it'll clear up behind white vans. And then even all the way back into here, this is line of sight onto that A door over here. So you might want to think about putting a guy upstairs above. Okay, so now we're going to be doing the first floor site. The first thing you're going to want to do is you want to blow up these hatches that are in the corners here. And in doing so, that gives you the option to rotate if so need be at some point in the round. You're then going to want to reinforce these 3 back walls right here, so that you don't get wall banged while playing these positions. Maybe you'll reinforce this section right here, give yourself some kill holes right here. If not, an actual crawl hole, so you can hold this door. Then I prefer to reinforce this hatch right above the press section piano area, simply so that the enemy doesn't drop behind you and get that easy flank. So the problem with holding this site is that it's very exposed to the external play right here. So you're going to want to barbed wire up this section here. So 1 barbed wire on either side that kind of cross in the middle. And then a barbed wire back in here a little ways. And then 1 back here. 1 right here. So you want to make sure that you kind of spread out your barbed wires so it doesn't get picked off with steam grenades. Some Jaeger systems up against the wall behind these pillars. Like so. There you go. Put them behind the pillars. Those won't get shot out from the south side. And they're far enough that 1 Thatcher grenade's not going to pick them off. So there's ways to hold it. You can hold this site from above or below. If you're going to do it from above, you're going to have to play people upstairs. In doing so, you'll shoot out the floor above the door, like so. Right here. There you go. You can shoot out the floor above the door and hit them when they go in for the plant. The same kind of concept can be played inside of the or above the A site. So that's reinforced right there. You can hold this door, kinda. It's not a very good angle, but you can do it. And you can hold the windows over here, like so. So you can hold it from above and play people above and deny the plant that way, or you can play people below the site, and the floor itself isn't necessarily bangable. Well, the A site is, the B site is not in most places. See, that's cement or marble or whatever they play under it. But the A site is, and so you can run a pulse below, and if you're doing that, then you're going to want to reinforce these the garage right here. And you can actually reinforce garage anyway, just to be annoying to the attacking team, which is always a bonus. So if you play below, there's one thing that you can do that's really cool, is if you go to this hatch right here, you have somebody come below with a shield, and you place the shield down. Let's see if I get this right. I think that's right. You can actually fall through the hatch and land on top of the shield. And in doing so, you will be able to throw a nitro cell from... There you go. You can throw a nitro from here to the front door and get the kill, which if you're on the ground, your nitro cell won't make it. So it's just something to think about. And also, you can do that same thing. You can throw, you don't even have to be on a shield for this. You can throw a nitro cell from over here to the front door and get a kill also. Another angle that I prefer to use is you punch out this right here, and you can sit back in this corner here and get a line of sight onto the front door area. This might be somebody back here. There might be somebody way back there. It's kind of finicky, but there you go. You can get up onto this, and you have to break out the window a little bit more. Let's knock it all the way down. But you can get a slightly elevated view, and you see you're just kind of walking up this chair, backing up this chair. Just got to finick with it. But doing so, you can change your angle slightly onto that section right there. Another common thing to do is that people will break out that window if they're not going to hold upstairs and jump out of it. You can vault out of this, and you instantly get line of sight to that corner there across the edge here. So that's something that you should think about doing every now and again if the opportunity arises. So we're going to play someone inside of bathroom area. You're going to want to play one guy in the A site back behind there, if not behind the bomb. You're going to want one guy in the B site area behind, maybe on the shield there. Play one guy on the stairs or back behind in this section. for this angle here, and then you're gonna want to do these at least one of these doors over here just to keep your people safe and make sure that you can move around. It's a pretty stagnant site. That's not a lot of rotates, a lot of holding really narrow angles. It is possible. My team and I hold that site quite often because generally the attacking team thinks to themselves, "Oh, this is first floor. We can just rush in, do what we want," and it gets them killed. So now we're going to move on to the attacking side, and we'll start giving the 3 strats for attack. Okay guys, now that we've gone over the other 2 bomb sites, we're now back to the first floor. So very first thing you want to do is you want to get this door opened. And doing so, you're going to stop the enemy from running around in the lobby, and if they do run around in the lobby, you're going to pick them off. As we talked about, there are 2 primary ways that the defense is going to try to hold this site, either from up above with some impact holes or shotgun holes, or from below with nitros from below. Okay, so if they're holding from above, there's going to be a hole in the floor like so. And in doing that, you should be able to drone that out pretty easily because it's a fairly, it's a hole in the floor. It's not exactly secret knowledge. So what you want is you want to have somebody who can hold this angle right here to make sure that they don't peek. And you can actually hold that from all the way back here. This is where I like to hold this angle from. I like to sit back behind this and kind of peek it like so. Gives you just a little bit of protection on your limbs, not much, but again, it's a different angle. I just have to worry about getting popped out from here. So you just need to make sure that you're listening for that to get broken, so that you can react accordingly. So you want to sit here, have somebody hold that, and then when you know that they're above, we like to run somebody up and have them pre-fire that spot, or have them crouch or prone, like back here, behind this right here, and then pre-fire and maybe hit somebody that's little too eager to peek that before we end up pushing into position. When we normally plant on this spot, some teams, if they don't blow this out, they'll actually reinforce it and they'll place somebody back like this, and this is actually destructible. You can see it breaking, and from there you can actually there you go. From here you can there you go. Breaks on both sides, and you can just pre-fire through that and hit who's ever back in this section here. You'll end up shooting this part. If they're on this part over here, they're covered by the bomb. But just one of those things that you want to try to pre-fire, or at least see if there's bullets or it's broken out, because you can punch that and get a little kill hole that'll watch this section right here. So where we like to plant on this site is we want to try to get in. There's probably going to be barbed wire. You want to get onto this rubble. It's kind of sitting here, and this is where I like to plant. I like to plant here because you get cover from the bomb itself and from the desk that you're hugging. So you'll look down, you'll plant the diffuser there. We'll throw our smoke grenades into this little hallway right here, and we'll try to get a grenade back into this section back here. And then you get your plant down. The guy who plants can stay close to the bomb or prone it, however he feels fit. I'd prefer to stay crouched over prone, and you can actually hold the bomb itself into that A site, waiting for them to push this hallway. At this point, you want to have had somebody at least get into the visa office, and even if they don't push the hallway, come and hold the main hall like so from either side here, or they can push up, hold it from here, or push up even more and hold this spot right here from stairs, or if they're able to, push all the way up in the spiral and potentially flank the A site, or sit back in here and wait for them to turn the corner, or potentially rotate back from visa or main stairs. This job can also be done by a guy that'll punch this window, actually this window, go through this window right here, and then he can hold right here and control this section and give crossfire on the front door. So you want to have somebody breach the front door, have somebody gain control of visa, have somebody get inside of here, and the guy here can hold spiral, can hold the back of A, can hold a lot of different spots. So there's 3 people there. We like to put somebody upstairs to apply pressure while we're doing everything, because if there's somebody upstairs who's shooting at the guy at the hole, even if he's not killing him, he's making him look away from that, and that gives us time to place our smokes and rotate through. And then our last guy is gonna, if they have extra pressure on B up above, we'll send him up above. If they're not playing, if they're playing one guy upstairs and they're playing more in the A in bathroom site, then we'll have him be more positioned at the B site. If there's pressure in A with a lot of crossfires, we'll put him up on the A window. Your fifth guy is pretty much going to be there just to rotate for whoever gets picked off, if they get picked off and when they get picked off. So that's going to be your B push. We'll continue tomorrow with Bank. And Bank has primarily the basement as a defensive site. The other sites aren't all that great. They're very similar to each other and they don't really favor the attacking team very much. But I'll show you some ways that you can hold the sites. They're dynamic, so you're able to move and rotate and try not to get pinched so much. That'll be Bank tomorrow. And Wednesday will be Canal. So I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay guys, so now we've gone over the defenses. We're going to hop back in and do the offensive strats. We're going to start out with attacking the top floor. First thing you want to do is you want to get your Blackbeard onto this window. And he's just going to sit here and hold this angle right here. Doesn't necessarily need to peek too much. If he gets shot, have him back away. Especially now that his shoot only takes a few bullets. You don't want him soaking up damage the whole time. So you're going to come in through there. If this, you're going to have someone repel out on this other window right here. And if this wall right here is not reinforced, you're going to breach this. That was breaching charge. And the reason you want to do that is because of this angle right here. You get lots of sight into the site, and you're also protected from being outside the window. You have your Blackbeard over there, one person here. You're pretty safe. When doing that, I forgot to mention that you're going to want to have a claymore down by the garage door that's over here. And so you don't get jumped out of there. And then if you're repelled here, you're going to want to be aware of this jump out, or they jump out those windows, or that they jump out the front door, because you can't turn to hit them out the front door at all. And you can only get to here if they jump out the front section. So if they get beyond that point, you can't hit them at all. I don't think if you change your angle, you can rotate out, but you have to change your angle to do so, which will affect your aim. So just something to think about. Okay, so you have two ops there. You're going to want somebody to be pushing the east site, even if it's just getting inside here and holding this hallway section here, or maybe holding the rotate from here. I like to generally push a guy through this bathroom area, or not bathroom area, but copy room across from the break room, and have them sit over here and kind of jiggle this section and hold this. If this isn't reinforced, you don't want to push too high, simply because you don't want to get wall banged through this right here. You imagine there's going to be a vault cam somewhere in this section, whether it be hidden or what have you. So you don't want to get too high up where you're going to get wall banged, which isn't good. So that's 3 ops. Your 4th op, I like to have somebody push either straight in the bathroom if they give it to me, or push up yellow stairs in time. And when you push up yellow stairs, make sure that you don't get flanked from piano. So if there's somebody in piano, you need to make sure that you take care of them. And once you get control of the B site, it's probably going to be the guy in closet, or once you get control of the A site, depending on how the enemy team's lined up, where you want to plant the diffuser is going to be right behind, just off the right of this right here. You want to plant it right there. And the reason I say that is because from right there, the pre-fire from bathroom to hit you is going to have to go through the bomb, and the bomb isn't bulletproof, as we've gone over. So it's a very safe place to plant. Plant right behind it, you're likely to get pre-fired from over here. So that's why I like plant right back in this section. That's why I say you want to sit just a little bit to the right, just to kind of off yourself a little bit from potential pre-fire from the door. And there's no saying that they still won't hit you, simply because they have good prediction or they get a lucky headshot through the wall. But one of those things. And with you having somebody on this window, this angle right here is a little bit diminished. If they're gonna make that pre-fire, or hit that pre-fire, they have to do it from back farther. which means that the bullet's going to have to carry differently, and the chances of them actually hitting you are a little bit lower, but one of those things. You can also put somebody up on this window right here, have them repelled, have them on the platform itself, have them repelled on this section over here, and kind of hold it like this. You can't really move much, just because the way that this portion works, and your line likes to move in straight lines. So if you go to the edge, you can strafe the whole edge. If you go to the front, you're kind of stuck going just a little bit until you reset yourself. So that's going to be your basic push. You're going to get somebody on Blackbeard window, Blackbeard, somebody on the waiting room window, somebody pushing main yellow stairs or bathroom, and then have somebody pushing the east end. And your final guy is going to have to rotate to wherever he's needed if somebody gets picked off. Alright, so now we're going to talk about attacking the basement site. And as we said, this is going to be reinforced, and this is going to be your first priority to breach. Shoot that radio to make it quiet. You want to breach into here. A quick and easy way to do so is you want to make sure that you have this door opened. By doing that, you're going to train some guns to the door. But what it also might do is if they're trying to bandit trap, it might push that bandit off of the wall, which is always a good thing. And another thing you can do is, there we go, rappel up this wall right here and shoot your ash charge right there. And in doing so, you can see the base where your bandit might be bandit tricking, and you can set him up by telling your thermite, alright, go to the north wall. When he moves to try to plant north wall, you can shoot him, or middle. So this section here is a little bit hard to hit from the angle you're at, so you want to try to put him on the north side. But as soon as you blow that, any smart bandit's going to get out of the way, because he's about to die otherwise. I like to run a buck or a fuse. You come up and start blowing up this floor. It's all destructible, and gives line of sight onto standard positions that the enemy is going to play. Like right here's white van. From here you can hold behind white van. You drop back here a little bit. Get another spot behind white. This one might be right on the wall, so we'll see. Yep, white van right here. And then if you go just a little bit farther to the right, you'll end up being inside of the A site, and there's a little bit of it's a little section in here that's breachable. You can get below that, and you can see that there's the wall and stuff below. There you go. There's the chairs. So you can see that you're gonna want your Habana to come up to hit that hatch, this hatch that's already blown out, and that hatch right there. If they don't get one of the hatches, then don't necessarily waste a Habana, especially if you have a buck. So you want to get those hatches out. You want to make sure that they don't run a late roamer up the spiral stairs or the Visa stairs. So you're going to have two people upstairs doing that. You're going to have your thermite outside doing his thing, probably a Thatcher or a Twitch at some point to at least get the batteries out of the way. And then once you get that, you're going to want to try to get somebody up onto these stairs here. And there's likely going to be somebody right there. If you come through and pre-fire this spot right here, probably going to hit someone. If you back up and then come this way, pre-fire through the glass, and they could be back behind here or right there. It's all common spots to have the bandit play once his charges get destroyed. So looking at where do you want to plant once you get this open, I like to open up the south side. And I want to try to plant behind this or in front of white van right here. It's very safe from both sides, and the only real threat is this main stair right here, or if somebody were to rush that and jump down into this section here. So it's a lot of coverage for the planter. You put one guy in the doorway watching stairs, or you maybe even drop him. You have a second guy come up and have him rotate to hold bomb, to hold this section here and this area here, and you can get that plant off pretty easily. Once your guy who plants, you have him rotate to the right and have him come sit back in this corner here. You have at least one guy outside. You have that other guy that was either in the doorway or in sight, and whoever you had blowing stuff up above, you have them either drop this A hatch or red hatch, and in doing so, that'll give you 3 guys on site, 1 guy outside, and potentially a 4th guy from site coming in behind to take out whoever was in A at the time of the plant, or whoever might be rotating back through A to get to the objective. So that's going to be your basic plant and hold for garage. Breach open, bust out the top, fuse, buck, get 1 to 2 picks, drop your diffuser, and then push from behind to take out those final guys as they try to come back to the diffuser. Alright, lastly, we are going to be attacking the first floor.